March Madness is building to a crescendo. The regional finals have arrived in San Jose. 8 teams remain, the Elite 8. And now they play for a trip to college basketball's crown jewel, the Final Four. A Cinderella has emerged. The Xavier Musketeers, an 11 seed, versus a former underdog turned powerhouse, the top seed in the West, the Gonzaga Bulldogs. And the winner of this game will match up against the winner of Florida and South Carolina, that all-SEC matchup. That'll be tomorrow on CBS. Right now on TBS, we've got the first of the Elite 8 matchups. And hi, everybody. Great to have you with us. Brian Anderson along with Chris Webber. Lewis Johnson is our reporter. We'll hear from him in just a moment. All right, C-Web, these are basketball schools here, Xavier and Gonzaga. And somebody is going to make history for their program tonight.
And you know, the element of surprise is over for both of these teams. I mean, both of these coaches have built great programs over time and continue programs over time. History for the students, the faculty, the players. So excited.
Yeah, you can feel it. A lot of hype here with these programs for sure and their fans. Now, let's start with Gonzaga. First of all, the top seed, they were in a dogfight against West Virginia, and their bigs were basically taken out of the game, but you see it differently tonight.
I do. You have to give West Virginia's pressing a lot of credit for keeping Karnowski and other guys out of the game with their fast pace, and this is exactly why you must keep Karnowski out of the paint. He will put you into a mixer, into the meat grinder. Passing is one of his best attributes, but don't forget, he loves his physical play. He takes the pain, he takes a lick and keeps on ticking.
That's a beard that's been going since last June, folks. Fear the beard. Nigel Williams-Goss, he's on the Cousy Finalist Award for the top point guard in the country. He played all but 2 minutes against West Virginia. He had his hands full, but he figures to be a factor here tonight as well. All right, Xavier. This is a team as an 11 seed that has done miraculous things in this tournament. They took down Arizona, took down Florida State before that, and they have a star player in Trayvon Blewett.
Oh, I love Trayvon Blewett. When you look at his game, it's like an old man game, and that's a compliment. It means he does not rely on one attribute. He's not going to bail you out with a three-point shot. He's going to knock it down. He's going to drive inside and take the contact. He's going to give you mid-range game. This kid can do it all. The heart and soul of the Xavier team.
How long is this ride going to go on for Xavier? Chris Webber's got his ball.
Yes.
We're ready to play ball. Lewis Johnson coming up next as we get set for this Elite 8 matchup. Xavier, Gonzaga.
And we're back in San Jose where the fans are filing in, getting ready for this Elite 8 matchup coming up in just a moment. Well, Xavier is carrying around their version of an urn with some ashes inside, and I know it sounds kind of morbid, but these are not human remains inside. These are remains of a bad February schedule, literally. The team lost 6 games in a row, and they decided to burn the paper schedule, and then Chris Mack said, let's take it to another level, and let's get an urn to carry it around from now on. And when he said that, some of his players were not quite sure about this idea.
You know, it was kind of weird the way at first when he was talking about it, you know, when he was giving us the message and like what it symbolizes and stuff like that. It was kind of like, what? But, you know, as he kept, you know, talking about it and explaining it about, you know, how it just means it symbolizes that, you know, we've got through the month. You know, we're going to bring the ashes with us everywhere to remind us what we've been through, the struggle that we've been through to get to the point that we are now. It started to make sense. And I think, you know, that was kind of a turning point for our team because, you know, we all took that to heart.
So Chris Mack wanted his team to remember 2 things. Number 1, that they had survived this brutal schedule, and 2, that they were still a tournament team back then. And boy, is he right, because here they are now with a chance to get to the Final Four. Now I'm going to hand this urn off to Alex Petke, who is the keeper of the ashes. The urns will remain in the locker room as they have for every game, and we'll be back with a tip from San Jose, C. Webb, and everybody else in just a moment.
Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by Geico, GMC, Amazon Echo, and by Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
6-time San Jose has hosted an NCAA tournament. This has been a terrific spot, and we are ready to play ball here tonight. The Elite 8 is underway. Gonzaga will have the first possession. And the Zags will start Jonathan Williams. Now a quick turnover. Malcolm Bernard all the way in defensively right away, showing up for Xavier.
The toughness of Xavier already on display. Great anticipation for the first play of the game. A nice steal.
There's so much to talk about with these two teams and two programs that are very similar. There's another quick turnover, but getting it right back is Matthews, the kid who hit the big shot to send Gonzaga into this Elite Eight. Now Williams-Goss will fire. And a foul quickly underneath. That is going to be a handful tonight. With Shimmick Karnowski, Tyreek Jones picks up the first foul.
Way to get in the passing lane. Bernard hit such big shots all year, and he's starting off the game defensive-minded.
So Gonzaga with Williams, Matthews, Williams-Goss, Josh Perkins, Shimmick Karnowski is their starting five. Xavier with Trayvon Blewett, their star player. Makura, Jones, Gooden, and Bernard, who's already on the board with the first field goal. This is Williams inside. See this 2-3 zone of Xavier, and a little left-handed hook is good. He is a left-handed player, and that is his spot.
Beautiful post-up. Gonzaga already, the Zags already looking to post up, but not from their big guy Karnowski. Little help from their power forward.
Third Elite Eight for Xavier. First time since the Sean Miller-led Musketeers of 2008, and a foul as Williams-Goss gets in the lane, and they're going to call Malcolm Bernard with his first foul.
BA, you talked in the open about Williams-Goss and the fact that he did not play as well as he probably would have liked to. Well, he got the win, so I know he's happy, but I expect players like this to bounce back and have a big game after you've had that one bad one on that big stage. Look for him to be aggressive tonight by initiating plays.
You see J.P. Makura tweaked an ankle a little bit. He goes down hard on the other end. He was slowed back. One of the tougher guys in the game. As Williams-Goss, 1 out of 2. Mentioned Williams-Goss and the burden he had to bear against West Virginia. I think Gonzaga feels like that they have survived West Virginia. They are in a much better place as a team because they saw something in that Sweet 16 matchup against the Mountaineers they had not seen all year, and it was a struggle for them, but they won the game. And here they are as the top seed, and a hot pass to Tyreek Jones and a Xavier turnover.
That is the intimidation of Karnowski. Gooden just expected Karnowski to come over and help, and so he got it to the guy that he thought was going to be open. Karnowski decided to stay with this man, and Jones is just a load in there. Low center of gravity, big, strong shoulders.
Oh, and another turnover. And I would imagine there are some nerves flowing right now, even though they're well into this NCAA tournament. Mark Few, his second appearance in the Elite Eight. It is his 18th season, been to the NCAA tournament in all 18. He was last in the Elite Eight game back in 2015. And here he is once again, and both of these programs trying to make it to the Final Four for the first time. Friendly bounce from Trayvon Blewett, his first points of the night. Here's Matthews from the top, hits. And boy, players are falling everywhere. Slippery surface, it looks like.
It's either that or we got a sumo match inside, and that's what I'm talking about. Jones and Karnowski banging inside.
That might be a better call. the sumo, as Gooden runs into a cinder block in Shimmick Karnowski. He'll pick up the foul.
Yeah, you were talking about the execution of teams and how they had to execute. Look at that screen right there. Great job by Williams just getting in front, giving his guy the opportunity. Assists can come in all different types of ways. That time an assist on the screen.
Foul is on the floor. Baseline out of bounds for Xavier. The 11 seed. Xavier trying to become just the 5th double-digit seed to make it to the Final Four. 3 of the previous 4 have been 11 seeds, interestingly enough. Good work on the stats. It was good all the way in. Little hesitation. Throwing the changeup, and he makes it to the basket.
You're right. It was all about the hesitation. He made Karnowski just second guess for 1 second, but gave him enough room to get to the bucket.
As we tell this Xavier story, and you're looking at 2 freshmen who have stepped up in big ways, as Perkins knocks down the three-pointer, and see, Webb, it looks early like Xavier is willing to sacrifice the three-point shooting at this point.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to force that, and why not in the early beginning just to see how it goes, because you still have two big guys that can hurt you down low.
Zach Collins set to check in momentarily, and it is a foul. Blewett gets inside, draws the foul.
When you want to be aggressive, you want to probe. Look at that hesitation right there. He made Karnowski go right back to him good and with the nice finish. And you have to do this because Karnowski can block that shot and throw it into the stands for a souvenir.
Gooden and Jones, the two freshmen to keep your eye on here tonight. Substitutions coming in. And a reminder that you can watch live games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. You can watch now at ncaa.com/March Madness or download the app today. So Zach Collins in for Karnowski, and Chris Mack, the terrific coach for Xavier, responds with Sean O'Mara. Collins, one of the great young big men in college basketball, just a freshman, a McDonald's All-American. And here's Matthews, too strong, Blewett with the rebound, and here comes Xavier in transition. Kicks it to the corner. Bernard passes it up, and it's going to be out of bounds off of Perkins. That'll be Xavier ball. Good job getting back on defense for Gonzaga.
Xavier came out and played a zone that time, and what they have to be careful of with their lack of size is in a zone, you give up offensive rebounding because it's so hard to see where your man and ball is.
Both of these teams had great defensive stands in their Sweet 16 game. As Gooden can't hit inside, disrupted by Collins. Nigel Williams-Goss to the corner. Matthews pounded by Makura, kicks it. Three-pointers are open so far, and another one goes down for Perkins.
Catch 22 for Xavier. What do? Do you allow him to go inside and give up the three? Now that they've hit two big threes, put the pressure up outside, see if they can go to work inside.
Gonzaga made just 4 in that Sweet 16 matchup with West Virginia. Here's O'Mara, who scored the decisive basket to send Xavier to this Elite Eight matchup. He comes up short on his first try. Perkins is feeling it. Comes up short. Well, that ball had good rotation too. He stepped right into it. His first miss. 6 points already. Gooden spins all the way inside and fouled. And one. Quentin Gooden will head to the line, the freshman from Kentucky.
Xavier Gooden going to the hole. The nice spin, the hold off by O'Mara for his man with the and one.
Our tournament summary as we're underway in our first Elite Eight matchup. Xavier and Gonzaga seeking their first Final Four appearance each. Great games. How about the SEC stepping up right now? South Carolina, Sendarius Thornwell continue to star. They defeated Baylor yesterday, their first Elite Eight appearance, in their first Sweet 16 appearance yesterday. And then Kentucky taking down UCLA.
How about Coach Calipari saying, well, I thought the SEC wasn't that good, huh?
Championing the cause for the SEC.
Conference pride.
Going to be great to hear Vern Lundquist on the call.
Oh, yeah.
So many years as the voice of the SEC on the football side. He'll get an SEC matchup tomorrow. 3-point possession as Quentin Gooden delivers, and Xavier is down a point. Gonzaga with the ball. The Zags have shot 7 3-pointers already. They've made 3. Only had 10 attempts in the first game. Williams gets the offensive rebound and scores it.
Williams has started off being aggressive. First play of the game, a nice post-up play, jump hook over the left shoulder. This time going amongst the trees, getting the rebound, knocking it in.
One thing you'll notice right away, Mark Few has a very deep bench. He can come at you in different waves. He's got size, great depth in his front court. And Gooden all the way, had blocked. Williams got a piece of that. What a great play and recovery by Williams. And now Williams-Goss looking for a little room. Finds it. Friendly bounce.
Xavier's guards are great at pressuring, but Gonzaga feels so much more confident that they're not up against that press of West Virginia. You can see it on their face, a little more space, a little more comfortable.
Here is Bernard, misses the 3. Collins rips down the rebound. Williams-Goss, one of the great point guards in college basketball. A transfer from Washington, sat last year. Poked away by Makura. On the ground for it. Gooden's got it. And it is going to be a held ball. Possession arrow belongs to Xavier.
It's always in these big games other people that make the great impact. And Williams, most people weren't expecting him to be the name that's called all night, but he is. Scored the first point, came down, you saw, got the rebound in there with the nice block off the backboard.
Jonathan Williams, 13 points, 6 rebounds against West Virginia. O'Mara gives it to Blewett, steps back for 3, and Macura with the point back. These guards for Xavier can rebound in a big way. Macura had 6 rebounds in that opening matchup of the Sweet 16 against Arizona.
Love Macura's game. He has the toughest job on defense, the point of that zone.
Collins bangs with O'Mara, swapping a little paint, and scores.
Out goes 1 7-footer in Karnowski. You got another one that's just fine in Collins.
I'm sure Collins glad to see one go through. He only scored 1 point at the free throw line. Only had 2 attempts in that game against West Virginia. And Collins, Karnowski, West Virginia essentially, as we talked about in the open, took the front court of Gonzaga out of the game. Now they're back in what would be their regular rhythm. Is Blewett. He can hit some tough shots and knocks down a little fall away there.
I know he's on his way to the league, but he's going to be Mr. YMCA in about 40 years too, because he's always going to be able to get buckets.
Collins on the dish from Tilly. The big passing sets up the dunk. Gonzaga is so dangerous. Their front court, not only do they take up a lot of space, they can do a lot around the rim. They're all excellent passers. It's a bonus for Gonzaga. Karnowski was supposed to be done. He had back surgery last year, but he was able to make it back as O'Mara gets it deep and scores.
That was like a no-look jump hook. He thought he looked like he was going to pass it in the midst of the air, contorted his body and finished over that left shoulder.
Ball was kicked by Macura.
Gonzaga, big to big passing. You have to love it. It keeps defenses honest. And this right here, let's see if he did a no-look shot. It looked like he didn't know where it was going. And that's just a nice jump hook and a finish.
Gonzaga has already posted 4 assists on 8 made baskets. They had only 6 assists, 7 assists, I beg your pardon, the entire game against West Virginia. Feels normal to them now without that press. Collins gives it up. Shot clock goes to 6. Nigel Williams-Goss off 1 foot, and Blewett comes down with a rebound. Blewett all the way, gathers, can't get it. Gaston, and that's going to be Gonzaga ball. 2017, we're off and running. What a great start to our first Elite 8 game of this tournament. Let's take a look at the Infinity Coaches Spotlight. Mark Few got his 500th win against Northwestern in the second round. 3rd fastest in NCAA history to accomplish that goal. 18 consecutive years in the NCAA tournament. Chris, he replaced Dan Monson. He has remained in Spokane. He is a Spokane guy and a Gonzaga man. And one of the great names, John Stockton, who played at Gonzaga, is here. His daughter plays on the women's team, and it connects the generations for Gonzaga basketball. It has never been better than it is right now, though. Xavier with the ball after the timeout, had a block inside from Collins. By the way, they got Tilly on the foul going into that timeout. This program has been remarkable from what we remember it 18, 19 years ago when they first burst onto the scene. Tilly misses, and there is Bernard.
You're exactly right. I know John Stockton, one of the toughest players I've ever played against. I know that he's the face of Gonzaga basketball, but for many that are younger, we know that Coach Few is building a program, and it's so different in building a program than be gifted one. You just have to give him so much credit for his patience and perseverance.
A team that went 35-1 this season. Their lone loss at home against BYU. Kaiser Gates goes to the hole. Nice take. And Gates is on the board for the first time. Good Good action here. Good basketball game so far. Williams-Goss, he's got a lot to go to. That little teardrop's one of his signatures.
Looks so much more comfortable than he did the other day. And let's see if Xavier, when needed, the foul on Williams-Goss up top on McCure. But let's see if Xavier can speed up the pace. How can they speed it up? Because Xavier's guards rebound, and when they rebound, they don't need an outlet pass. They can just go north.
Well, we're looking at two here that have the most wins, identical win totals in the NCAA tournament with 27, neither making it to the Final Four. And as we talked about as we hit the air, these are basketball crazed programs, and they focus a lot of their activities around their hoops. McCura breaks free inside. Great passing from Blewett.
Xavier's moved their offense to the high post, and that was great. Blewett being such a great decoy. Why? Because he's the best scorer on the team. Your best scorers usually are the best decoys. That high-low pass over the shoulder. Such an unselfish play, but you have to cut hard to keep the integrity of the play. If you do not cut hard and you miss the pass, and the defense won't respect it, McCura making them pay on the other end.
Well, Xavier basically plays 7 guys. They can go to an 8th player in their rotation, but it is a thin rotation. It's one of the reasons why the 2-3 zone is implemented. It has Melson found himself wide open. He says, I'll take it, and he hits it. His first opportunity. And the three-pointers are falling fast for Gonzaga. They are now 4 for 8. McCura, nothing there. Now McCura will set it up. And he lost the handle. Unforced error that time. Williams-Goss on the move. Got his man turned. Ball fake, blocked. Bernard. Oh, a heck of a defensive play by Malcolm Bernard. He was turned into a go-to player in this tournament.
Do not feel sorry for Xavier. If they're undersized, they still had a plus in rebounding in their conference this year, and they're doing it all with the guards. And again, it allows them to play faster because the guards don't have to outlet it, or a big guy doesn't have to outlet it to them. They can just take it right off the board and go north.
Karnowski going to work in the lane. That's his shot. Little spinning in the lane, left-handed hook. For the 5th-year senior from Poland, Szymon Karnowski. That was a dangerous spot for him to get the ball. Chris Mack knows. Bernard had a block by Karnowski, and it ends up right in the hands of Gaston. That might have been a pass, actually.
Gaston, the right place at the right time.
Matthews dumping it inside. Karnowski. Gates on Nelson. Terrific defender. Williams-Goss coming around the screen. And it's Gates who pulls down the board. Blewett. And a foul on the floor. He went with a little Smitty there to try to get free and drew the foul. Let's see, is this a block or a pass?
Well, let's
here?
see. Either way, he's going to say it's a pass, but that really was a pass. There you go.
Nice.
Way to know your teammates and personnel. Strong finish.
That was a thing of beauty. If he goes for the shot, it is going to be blocked.
Oh, yeah.
Smitty's making a comeback, by the way, C-Web. We saw Nigel Hayes for Wisconsin in that win against Villanova. And Blewett's added that to the mix. Here's Bernard. That was blocked from behind. Williams-Goss got a hand on it. Xavier ball.
Karnowski so patient on that play. He knows that he doesn't need another quick foul. That time just staying vertical. I've been so impressed with the college players in this tournament. Staying vertical, not leaning over, not fouling. Great position defense.
Back surgery last year for Karnowski. Looked like his career was going to come to an end. And Karnowski with the block going the other way. Offensive foul. Gonzaga ball. Karnowski holding his ground. And the foul on Tyreek Jones. Chris Mack does not like that call at all.
I just mentioned the staying vertical. Let's see this play. Great play, both sides. Look for that battle all night as the bigs of Gonzaga know that they have a height advantage, but they do not want to let the aggressiveness of the Xavier guards put them in foul trouble. Have to pay attention to detail on the defensive end.
Tyreek Jones with his second foul. That is a big story early for Xavier. Look at this pass. Karnowski sees over everyone. Nigel Williams-Goss couldn't make the layup. And McCura able to pull a matrix and save that ball. McCura all the way in with the left and a foul. And free throws for J.P. Macura. Just keeps the pedal down. Does Macura and Xavier. Free throws coming when we continue. Good start in the Elite Eight in San Jose. What a ride it has been for Xavier. Their path here to the Elite Eight. First round, they took down Maryland out of the Big Ten. An upset there, then a big upset. A 25-point win against Florida State, and then Chris Mack taking on his former head coach. He was an assistant under Sean Miller at Xavier, beating the 2 seed, and now they match up against the top seed Gonzaga.
When you are able to go back and coach the team that you played on, it's hard for anyone else to have more pride than you in your program, more passion than you in your program. Chris Mack, so intense, and I know he's just so thankful to be here with his alma mater.
Sean Miller even said after the game that we, Arizona, got out-coached by Chris Mack and Xavier. High praise.
Wow, high praise and humility from a great coach in this league as well.
Chris Mack in his 8th year. He played at Xavier, played for Pete Gillen. Been a nice run of coaches there at Xavier as well, as Macura hits the 2 free throws coming out of the timeout and a 2-point game. One thing we saw in the Xavier-Arizona matchup is Arizona had a couple of windows where they looked like they were going to stretch it out, and each time Xavier fought their way back. Perkins has hit a couple of threes, gives it to Karnowski, and they are hounding Karnowski, and that's a double dribble.
He was triple teamed. Xavier wanted to meet Karnowski early in the post so that he couldn't get low. This time they didn't. He got where he wanted to, but look at this. The guys are there ready, and what do you do as a big fella? You want to just run and hide, or either double dribble and give the ball up. Great defense by Xavier.
He's probably one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and a very funny guy, but he is an intimidating presence on the floor, and that beard is made of barbed wire, I think. It's as intimidating.
And don't forget, the fleet-footed big man is the best dancer on the team, too. He wants me to remind the people of that.
O'Mara kicks it out. Here's Bullock for 3. And it is going to be a foul on O'Mara. So Perkins pulled the rebound down, and O'Mara, who is probably going to be asked to play extended minutes here with Tyreek Jones in foul trouble, the other front court player for Chris Mack. He sits with 2. Now, when you have the long sleeve shirt on at this point, unlikely he'll be coming back. If it will, it'll be as we get to the end of this half. 6:50 left. Here's Williams, the lefty, knocks down a 3, wide open.
It's always someone on the scouting report that you're not really paying attention to that steps up in these big games. Williams has been all over the place tonight, from the first bucket score to blocking shots to offensive rebounds. Right now, he's the glue guy for these Zags.
Another 3-pointer made for Gonzaga. There's another turnover for Xavier. A little disrupted inside. Gonzaga trying to take advantage. They're up 5. A huge mismatch inside. Now the double comes, and here's Williams-Goss for 3. Bam! Woo! 3-point shooting on point for the Zags.
That's going to be the issue all day. If you go in and double team the big fella, Karnowski, he's going to pass. His coach had to ask him to shoot more because he loves to pass and get guys so involved. So go ahead and double team him. He's going to find the open man.
And a foul as Blewett puts one off the rim. And let's see. He's going to get Karnowski. That'll be his second. Look at this pass by the big man.
I mean, he can dance. That's how he can split that post right there, that double team. And you see him getting it out to the big fellas, to his guards, and he loves keeping guys involved. And when you have a no-look like that from your big fella, the guards are just so confident they can let it fly without reservation.
Blewett misses the first free throw. Bleacher Report's animated series Game of Zones returns this April. Watch Game of Zones only on the Bleacher Report app. Karnowski will sit with 2 fouls. And 1 out of 2 for Trayvon Blewett. Gonzaga has made 6 threes. They've gotten 18 points of their 33 on the board from behind the arc. And Chris Mack, knowing that they had to give a little somewhere, took the gamble that the 3-point shooting was not going to be this good early.
Well, this is when you stick with your game plan. Maybe it will not continue to be that great all day long. You can make adjustments at half, but right now, stick with what got you here. The coach wants you to give up the 3.
What a luxury it is for Gonzaga with Karnowski on the bench, with Collins coming in. That's a beautiful pass. And the dunk by Williams on the setup from Williams-Goss. Xavier trying to answer here. Williams now with 9 points. McCura taking on Collins. And it is Williams-Goss who pulls down the rebound. He's a big point guard at 6'3". How about that screen? Drop McCura. And now Xavier in transition. Here's Blewett. And Blewett loses the handle. And that's going to be out on Williams-Goss. Boy, what a great pace.
If I'm McCura, I'm looking at my teammates and I'm saying, this is your fault. Communication has to come. This is a great screen. Collins is supposed to do this right here. Knock him out. But no other Xavier player was up saying screen right, screen right. Great job by Zags. Terrible job. Recognition and communication by Xavier on that play.
8-1 run for Gonzaga. That one free throw. Blewett. And Blewett, little step back off 1 foot. No. Gates follows, but a foul. And 2 shots coming for Gates are going to get Zach Collins on the foul. That'll be his first. And that'll put Kaiser Gates at the free throw line. Watching the big dance calls for big refreshment. So grab a delicious ice cold Coca-Cola and enjoy the game. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling. Kaiser Gates, sophomore out of the Atlanta area, Alpharetta. Outstanding shooter, great off the bench, gives him a lot of production off the bench. And he's been terrific in this NCAA tournament as well.
Xavier has to keep an eye on Williams. He's been dominating in all positions, not just shooting threes, rebounding, blocking shots, but getting in those gaps where no one expects him to. Keep him off the offensive boards as well.
Up top. And got a foul on the way up by Williams. Williams-Goss trying to hit Jonathan Williams with the lob.
Williams was shooting that shot. That should be 2 shots. It was an alley-oop. He tried to tip the ball in. I think the referees are going to talk about it, and they do give him 2 shots. Great communication and teamwork by the referees getting the call clear.
Kip Kissinger making the call. Michael Stevens, James Breeding are 3 officials. And Kevin Brill is the alternate, and certainly a shooting foul. And Williams will shoot free throws. It's one area he could improve upon. He's only a 58% free throw shooter, that high arcing left-handed free throw. Transfer from Missouri. One of the themes of Gonzaga, they've got a number of guys who have transferred in. Williams from Mizzou, Matthews from Cal. Nigel Williams-Goss coming from Washington. And they get the 5th year out of Karnowski, who was given a medical red shirt last year. This is a veteran-laden team in Gonzaga, emerging as the top seed. And a pick. Jumped the lane, did Matthews, a steal. Matthews inside, going up against O'Mara, blocked. And Blewett comes away with it. McCura attacks, and McCura scores the layup.
McCura loves getting to the cup. He can knock that shot down from deep, but he has handles. He's slippery. He can get inside. Xavier back to the 2-3 zone. It's up to Collins and to Williams to break this zone by getting to the middle position around the free throw line. Either set a screen or be the first entry pass, then look to the opposite corners.
That layup by McCura, the first field goal in 5 minutes on the game clock. And shot clock down to 4. Bullet pass to the corner, fumble, and a foul. No, going to be a foul, or what's the call here? Looked like he got him on the wrist, but going to have a 3-second call. No, I beg your pardon. They will call a foul on Blewett. McCura to the hole. Scores it for Xavier. 6-point Gonzaga lead.
Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by AT&T, Infinity, Jiffy Lube, and by Wendy's.
Beautiful Saturday afternoon here in the Silicon Valley, San Jose. In our game summary, Gonzaga up 6. There will be 3 free throws coming for Jordan Matthews, who has 9 points already. He's made 4 of his 5 shots at this point. Matthews has hit 1 3, and he hit the big 3 that sends Gonzaga to this Elite 8 matchup. The Kennel has traveled to San Jose. Always one of the great student sections in college basketball. And let's take a look at this call as we were going to break, trying to sort it all out. But he certainly was going up for a shot. His feet were certainly behind the three-point line, and that's why we have 3 free throws here.
Lewis certainly got him on the arm, even though he's protesting.
Blewett with 7 points on 2 of 7 shooting. He has to carry the Xavier team with the scoring if they're going to advance. So all 3 free throws are good for Matthews. And just like that, Gonzaga is up 9. They scored 30 in the first half against West Virginia with that tenacious defense. And with 3 and change remaining here, they're knocking on the door at 40. Kaiser Gates, he can shoot it. Comes up short. And a rebound inside. Offensive board by Bernard. And a foul on Gonzaga. Zach Collins is going to get the foul, which will be his second. So Karnowski with 2 fouls. Collins, the freshman, has picked up his second. And here is Bernard at the line. Well, the Parkers have hit the Big Apple. Watch the Detour. All new Tuesdays at 10 p.m. on TBS.
If you're Gonzaga, as Bernard knocks that down, you do not want to fall asleep. Just a little bit of love, going on right there. Nothing but just Jones. I mean, I'm sorry, it's nothing but Collins. Guys just having a little fun. Gates in there just wrestling a little bit. But if you're Gonzaga and you go into halftime, or better yet, before halftime, do not sleep on the 3-point shooting of Xavier. So what? They're 0 for 3. They were 6 for 16 in their last game, and they can let them fly right now. I just think they're making wise decisions, attacking the hole, getting the best shot possible.
Good work there by Michael Stevens. Like scolding your overgrown children, pointing up to the 2 big men. So let's settle down, boys. Collins gives it up. Williams Goss for 3, and another one goes down for Gonzaga. Well, that is the story in this first half. The Zags are 7 for 12 from behind the arc. Williams Goss has 11. That's his second 3-point make. O'Mara got guards all over him, and O'Mara's wide open. Maybe too wide open. And now Gates is going to get hit for the foul. Michael Stevens, the official, just talked to him about it.
Collins inside, and this is what's so good. Williams Goss did not have a great game the other day. You knew he was going to come back and be aggressive. I expect him to score over 20 today in a win or loss to get his team involved. And if you're the big fellas for Xavier, do not back down. So what? The refs are telling you don't wrestle. Your coach is telling you go in there and be a man. Gates going to the side, but you better be physical with Gonzaga, or you can be friendly on that plane ride home.
Chris Mack's big man in foul trouble. You've got Tyreek Jones with 2, and now Kaiser Gates has 2. O'Mara needs a breather, and Rasheed Gaston is now on as Collins cannot hit the free throw.
There's no way to box out without being physical, no way to box out without getting in the scrum. Xavier speeding the game up. That's what they need to do. For all you young players out there, when a great defense sets up, it's so hard to score. So what do? Speed the pace up. You do not have to rush your shot, but you have to get out quick. Just look at this. He already knows he's going to pass it off. It's not herky-jerky, getting guys involved. Gaston getting to the line. Great pump fake, taking the contact.
Gets Collins off the floor, and he picks up his 3rd foul. And I'm sure a trip to the bench right now. Can't afford to let this ride as Killian Tilly is checking in now for Collins. Karnowski sits with 2. Collins goes to the bench with 3 with 2:21 remaining in this first half. And Rasheed Gaston, the senior out of Warren, Ohio, is going to have to pick up some big minutes. 1 out of 2 for Gaston. 10-point game. Gonzaga, the top seed in this West Regional. Inside, Williams, Goss, no, and there is Gaston with the rebound. Here's Blewett, Xavier's top scorer, gives it up. Bernard all the way in, and Bernard at the basket. He scored 15 points against Arizona on Friday, all 15 coming in the second half. Surprise scoring for the Musketeers. Williams passes it up. Now he's on his way. And Williams scores. And one for Jonathan Williams.
The first half MVP of this game. The first shot he took was the first play of the game, jump hook. He hit a 3 earlier. That's why the pump fake works. Kids out there, you have to have an array. You have to have an array of moves. Just don't be one guy that only does one thing. Williams hit the 3-pointer. What does he do next? He pump fakes, and now he's going to go get a traditional 3. Williams doing it all over the court tonight.
Williams out of Memphis. Memphis has been big here the last couple of days. Chris Chiozza, Memphis guy, hit the big shot for Florida to beat Wisconsin. That running 3-pointer, the buzzer beater.
You had to remind Wisconsin fans of that just now.
It was Wisconsin who hit a 3 last year in the round of 32 that knocked Xavier out of the NCAA tournament. Xavier still going as Perkins fouls Makura. Makura so good going to the basket. And at 6'5", he is fearless in there. 2 free throws for J.P. Makura, junior out of Lakeville, Minnesota. Nine points for J.P. Well, who delivered the Buick expectation-shattering performance of the day. Tune in to Inside March Madness, presented by Buick, and find out. 1 out of 2 for Makura.
No stupid fouls if you're Xavier right now.
10-point game, and Williams Goss misses the layup. Bernard pulls down the board. On his backside, gives it up. Gooden rescued him. Up ahead, numbers. Blewett for 3. Yes!
That's a bad man right there. I'm telling you, this guy has game and range and does it in an array of ways. He knew he was going to shoot it as soon as he touched the ball. Blewett 3 for 8, 10 points. Killing him. Xavier, because of their size, have been in a catch-22. Strategically, they said, we're going to take away the big fellas and let the guards shoot from 3. Well, hey, Williams is even shooting from 3, and he's not a guard. So right now, close game, so your strategy is still working. But these guys, the Zags, they were 4 for 10 from 3-pointers the other night. Tonight, 7 for 12 already. You think they got the hot hand? They're feeling it.
And wide open threes are falling. Matthews hit the 3-pointer that sent Gonzaga to this Elite 8 game. Yes. He'll have his place in Gonzaga lore. Third trip to the Elite 8 for both of these programs. Both trying to make it to the Final Four for the first time in program history. There is a lot on the line. In the corner, and Perkins drills right on cue. A 3-pointer flies for Gonzaga. Here's Blewett. Stops, comes up short. And, oh my goodness! Who you give that to?
What's funny is Gaston raised his hand.
Gaston says, I'll take those 2 points.
Oh, he raised his hand like he bounced it off. I don't care, big fella. Go get you 2 points from the stat sheet.
Trick shot artist. Rashid Gaston bounces one off the ground, and it goes in. 8-point game. Williams Goss spins, and the little floater is good. That is next level stuff right there. And oh my God! The basket is in. Was it off in time? They will take a look, and if it's good, it's 2 of the most unbelievable baskets you will ever see in succession.
Wow. We've been fortunate, my friend, to see some good basketball in the last few days.
3-quarter court.
Hard to tell on that angle.
We're going to have to get another. Let's see.
Let's see.
Oh, I don't think he got it off. I think it was late.
Oh, looks like it's a fraction late, but I know that the fans at home, just like you and myself, are still excited about it.
Yeah, they go on the timer too. So here's the official. It is waved off. No basket, and that's the end of the half as we check in with Lewis.
All right, Coach, threes are falling at a high percentage. What else do you like about your offense, and what are your adjustments for the second half?
Well, we got to start playing better defense. Let's start it with that. Okay, we're a great defensive team. We got to get settled. They're a really, really good offensive team, but we can play better than we're playing down here. We got to sit down, get in a stance, keep moving the ball down there. They're switching their defenses, and I think we can finish a couple more plays. We've left a lot of bunnies hanging on the rim, but it's got to start with our defense. We got to play better defense if we want to win.
All right, Bart, thank you.
Yep.
All right, B.A.?
And you will never hear a coach praise the three-point shooting. You live and die from behind the arc, and the Zags live and large from behind the arc in that first half. They made 8 of them. That takes us to the half. 49-39, 10-point Gonzaga lead, and we'll send you to AT&T at the half. After these messages, you're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship.
AT&T at the half is presented by AT&T.
With a berth in the Final Four at stake, we are at halftime out in San Jose, West Region Final. Xavier and Gonzaga leads it by 10, 49-39. Welcome to AT&T at the half. Greg Gumbel with Clark, Kenny, and Charles. I happen to mention to you that Xavier appeared to be kind of close to being overrun, but you said they haven't yet, and you doubt that they will be.
Well, they can make threes. They have not made them. Gonzaga has made a bunch of them. And, you know, making shots is kind of like sunshine. It just makes you feel better and makes things look better. And that's what happened for the Zags. Three-point shot making. Boom! They made 8 of them. Now it's Williams-Goss. He's not going to make one here. That's Perkins. But he got a 13-point half when he's only been averaging 13 to date in the tournament. Jonathan Williams knocks one down here out of the double team. The defender takes himself out of the play with the lunge, and there's Williams-Goss knocking it down. But shot making a nice rhythm and flow for Gonzaga. But you heard Mark Few talk about needing to be tougher defensively, and that's what's going to get them to the finish line if they get there in the second half.
Kenny, is something or something is like sunshine. What do you got?
Well, I'll tell you what the rain is. The rain is when you overreact. You know, all you need is sometimes an umbrella. You don't have to overreact. You don't have to get too overdressed. And I think that's what Xavier's doing now with Gonzaga. This is one of the reasons why I thought that they would have trouble with him, Clark, just because they have to overreact to certain things. Konowski is having a good game, but his game is really just drawing attention. And his attention, and he scored initially in here. And when they said we're going to play him one-on-one, he really scored pretty easily. So that was, now they started to overreact a little bit, and they started giving opportunities. But in that overreaction, he does have trouble in the post when you double, triple team him. He's not mobile enough to make plays, so he traveled. But the overreact part of it is he's not really the guy who's going to kill you if you do that. And so now you keep coming and keep doubling, and you gave up all of those threes. And that's being the overreact. So the sunshine, now you got the rain.
Umbrella.
You got the rain. Now, what weather do you have to give us?
I'm just a ray of sunshine all the time. You know, it's interesting. When Xavier plays that zone, it just Gonzaga just getting comfortable shots every time. There's no ball pressure. There's no, I mean, it's just like a jump shooting contest. And they're going to change up because you got to put some pressure on the Zags to make them uncomfortable. Like right now, they're just shooting practice jump shots. And can Xavier, first of all, they got to speed up the tempo and try to score in the open court more instead of relying on three, because they're not making shots right now. You make a couple free layups, the basket gets wider. But on defense, it's just a jump shooting contest for the Zags, and they're making their shots. And I would never double that big fella because it's just over there, especially when they get their three-point shooting going, because I don't think he can get enough points for you to worry about. Because he's big, he's strong, he's methodical, But you just get them guys wide open jumpers, and they're feeling it right
Well, it'll be interesting to see if they do adjust with the pressure of that 1-3-1 zone defense, because it has been effective when they've been aggressive in it.
Yeah,
they haven't.
They got to push the pressure out.
They do, and they also got to make some threes because they're outscored. 7 made 3-point field goals in that first half.
All right, it's a 10-point game at halftime in favor of Gonzaga. A quick reminder for you, coming up after Xavier and Gonzaga, it's the Midwest Regional Final between number 3 seed Oregon and top seed Kansas. Oregon seeking its first Final Four appearance in 78 years. The Jayhawks are looking to advance to the Final Four for the first time since 2012. More to come on AT&T at the half after this.
Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by Taco Bell, Allstate, Degree, and by Samsung.
Great energy in the building here in San Jose as we are just about ready for the second half. And let's take a look at our Marriott first half stats. Gonzaga by 10, the top seed. Xavier, the 11 seed. It has been a terrific run for them, but they are down 10 as we hit the second half. It'll be Gonzaga ball to start. And let's get an update from the Xavier locker room and Chris Mack. Let's hear from Lewis Johnson. What do you have, Lewis?
Well, Chris Mack paying some attention to the amount of threes that Gonzaga dropped in that first half, 8 of them. He said, look, we were playing the percentages on Gonzaga hitting threes. They did hit 3, and we'll continue to play those percentages, even though Gonzaga's on a record pace in this tournament. He also mentioned that they've got to adjust to that 2-3 zone. But again, now it's getting back to those 4-minute wars. He's talked about that since he walked in the building. Chris Mack saying it's another 4-minute war right now. They want to win this as they continue to look toward the end of this game and their shot at the Final Four.
All right, Lewis, thanks. And Chris Webber, 8 made 3-pointers. The Gonzaga program record in an NCAA tournament is 12. What do? You pack it inside, or do you go protect the three-point line?
You have to challenge the shot. They've been giving up open threes. That's what they have to do. Williams, who's a big man, got a wide open 3 from the beginning, but Gonzaga, 86 straight wins when they score 75-plus points. These guys get buckets.
Big men for both teams in a bit of foul trouble. Karnowski with 2 fouls gets deep, and with that left-handed hook, he scores easily. And it's a 12-point Gonzaga lead. Both of these schools have made it to the Elite Eight on 3 occasions. Neither has made it to the Final Four. These basketball programs. And on the take goes the freshman Gooden. And he is fouled.
You want to meet centers and big guys up high. You see right there, Mercure tries to do it, just can't keep them. And inside, so if you're Xavier, what do? Do you double team? Do you triple team the bearded one? Or do you let threes fly from outside?
Third foul on Karnowski, and obviously Chris Mack, and we saw this in the first half as well, his guards are on the attack and the beards are out. Fear the beard.
Those are some scary beards over there, but
this is going to be interesting here. Mark Few will let it ride. We're just underway in the second half, but Collins, his backup, Zach Collins, has 3 fouls as well, and I'm sure Xavier is going to continue to attack the rim.
This is when you trust your 5th-year senior. You say, listen, kid, you have 3 fouls. You're the all-time winningest college player of all time. Of course, we're going to trust you, but I think it'll be maybe a 2 or 3 minute stretch. They're confirming that it is on the big fella, but you have to trust. A lot of this is trust, and he's smart enough to try to play a 3 to 4 minute stretch, not getting another foul.
That's a nice job quickly there, by the way. Michael Stevens runs over. During the free throw scenario, it took hardly any time. He confirmed that the foul, that's a big swing. If that is attributed to someone else, but it does continue to be a foul on Karnowski. Plays with 3. 2 free throws for Gooden. Back into Karnowski. Tyreek Jones playing with 2 fouls, and a foul on Xavier. They're going to get Malcolm Bernard. And just to give you a look at it, this was the foul that was called. It was Some discussion about whether it was going to be Perkins or Karnowski. Karnowski knew he had a hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah, you don't want to get a cheap one as a big fella. Those are the ones you cannot afford to get. The guards already, Xavier, are putting pressure on the bigs. Can't let that happen.
Williams-Goss, around and down it goes, and you know it is your night from behind the arc when those fall.
9 for 14 behind the arc right now. So the guys of Zaga can actually get anywhere they want in mid-range. Because Xavier's so worried about that three-point line.
Twice this year, Gonzaga made 13 threes in a game as Bernard tries to answer with a three. And Karnowski right to Perkins. Williams-Goss, bullet pass across. Matthews for three. In and out it goes. That was halfway down. Offensive rebound sets it up again for Gonzaga. I'll tell you, Williams-Goss is a handful with the ball in his hands and room to roam, which he did not have against West Virginia.
No, he did not have against West Virginia, and the players there, the guards, but tonight, that's why you continue to play, and it's almost a relief as the best player, one of the best players on the team, when your team wins and they get you that win and you didn't play well, you know you're going to show up for them next time.
Williams-Goss played all but 2 minutes and carried a heavy burden against West Virginia, scored 10 points, had 5 turnovers. Williams gives it up, Matthews for three, and they continue to fall. And I think Chris Mack, that look he just gave his assistants, if they're going to shoot like this, then they're going to advance.
Call it off, BA. Let's change and go to a different strategy. Coaches are definitely great at changing the strategy because now that was a hand in his face. The foul right there, O'Mara, but a hand was deep in his face, and that's what you want your guys to do. Challenge the three-point shooters, and when you're doing that and they still knock them down, time to go another way.
O'Mara gets the offensive rebound. Here's the three from Matthews. And he hit one from the other corner to send Gonzaga to this Elite Eight matchup. And now 10 for 16 from behind the arc. Clear foul on O'Mara. Williams got him. And O'Mara misses the free throw. He's missed his last 4 free throws going back to Friday night.
Lewis just looks at him and says, "Got you, baby. Keep on going."
CBS Sports app is your app for the tournament. Follow your bracket, watch highlights, get instant team and upset alerts. Download the CBS Sports app now to experience every moment. 1 out of 2 for O'Mara. Keep an eye on that Xavier 2-3 defense. Do they cover the three-point line? Here's Williams-Goss, picked up his dribble, finds Perkins. He hit a couple of threes in the first half. Now Williams working on Blewett. Shot clock down to 8. Dump it down to the big man. 2 big boys battling it there, and Karnowski, no. Oh, Williams!
This is a team sport. Yes, Karnowski. Yes, Williams-Goss. But Jefferson is the star. I'm sorry, Williams is the star for tonight.
O'Mara banging his way in there with Karnowski. Wow, that's a tough shot over a man, 7-1. And up top, good catch, no finish. Tough pass. I think Williams, just a little bit disruption of the timing there. Gonzaga is a team that looks for and gets the lobs often. Not on that occasion. Feels like a big possession right now. We got a lot of time in this game, but Xavier in desperate need of some points, and Blewett and Makira can't connect, and a turnover.
Matthews with the denial, but Williams, he is the guy tonight that has been given the energy to the Zags, doing the dirty work. He has his hard hat on and his lunch pail with him.
Well, Gonzaga, their offense in the last 2 games, you compare what happened against West Virginia, it speaks to the talent of West Virginia's defense, but 18 made field goals is the stat that jumps out. Gonzaga had 18 made field goals in the first half tonight, and now they're up to 22. And the Zags have the lead and the ball up 17 on Xavier. And a trip to the Final Four on the line. Inside, Karnowski. And that is out of bounds off of Karnowski. That'll be Xavier ball.
I don't think that was a foul, big fella. I know you're asking for it. Looks like Xavier had great hands, but let's remember, Gonzaga's a powerful offense. They're the 6th team in the last 40 years to start the season 29 or better. It's not a game right now, and these guys are spreading the floor, knocking it down deep from 3, and if you don't, you're going to get dug inside by Big Karnowski.
Here's Blewett. Xavier would love to see him get going, and that's going to be a foul going the other way. Foul on Xavier. And I believe they're going to get Macura. So Macura on the foul. Gives the ball back to the Zags. Gonzaga, a top 10 offense nationally, top 5 defense statistically this year. As Bernard will sit, in comes Gates. Longest streak in Division I, though, shooting a higher field goal percentage than their opponent. Longest streak in D1 in the last 20 years, as a matter of fact. Jonathan Williams working on O'Mara. And now Matthews for 3. Pulled down by Blewett. Gonzaga fans who follow this team all year know, and Mark Few even referenced it yesterday as Macura goes to the hole. The Zags have given up a ton of big leads this season, including a 22-point lead against Northwestern in their second-round matchup. They won that game 79-73 to knock Northwestern out. But that has been an area of concern for Mark Few. And they are up 15 now as we get to a timeout. 15 and a half remaining in regulation. The top seed in control for now. Gonzaga started the year 29-0. They finished 35-1, a top seed, advancing past South Dakota State in the first round. And they had a grinder against Northwestern, that great Northwestern story in Evanston this year. And then a terrific defensive struggle that they won in the Sweet 16. They have arrived here to the Elite 8 for the 3rd time in program history. Second time under Mark Few, and the 2nd time in the last 3 years. 15-point lead. Zags with the ball, looking for the lob and the catch, and the finish by Williams. Set up beautifully by Matthews. Now coming out of that timeout, Mark Few draws up a dandy. Xavier gets a 3-point try from Macura. Big answer. Xavier needed that one. Xavier found themselves down 8 against Arizona with 3.5 minutes left in the game to the 2 seed. They came back and won in the corner. Matthews, nope. And there is Gooden with the rebound. Up ahead, Blewett. And Williams able to chase it down. Blown transition for Xavier.
Williams 2 steals and a big block.
And now Williams going to the hole with the right hand. He scores his offhand and one. John Stockton even appreciates that attack at the basket.
You see one of the greatest point guards ever to touch the rock right there, cheering his team on. But it's been Williams all night since the first play. Post up, goes over his right shoulder. Second play, hits a 3-pointer, gets other guys involved. A couple of big blocks. He's the energy guy. He's the guy tonight that set the tone for this Zags team.
And you see those 4 rebounds. Those are all offensive rebounds, by the way, for Jonathan Williams. He can't convert the 3-point play. 63-47. Gonzaga has Xavier at arm's length right now. Under 14 and a half to go in regulation. And Blewett misses the 3. Look at Gates with the board. Offensive rebound, a big one. Now Gooden on the take. And Gooden hangs and scores. Wow.
Xavier needs to move the pressure up and meet at half court. Go there in the zone, fall back into a zone. They've been switching during the same play, half court zone or man-to-man, kind of like an amoeba, the old John Chaney type defenses. Let's see if they can put more pressure and kind of create some turnovers to get a score on the other end.
Collins playing with 3 fouls, his first run of the second half. Here's Perkins for 3. And Collins with the offensive rebound. Ball's on the ground. And it is going to be a held ball. Possession arrow belongs to Xavier.
This is a team game, but right now you need to go to the best players on your team and let them set the dinner table for other players so they can eat. The ball should be in Blewett and Macura's hands, and you already see the numbers of Blewett. He can get points, though. He has 10. He can score 10 in 2 minutes, but he needs to facilitate, get other guys involved. They need to get some easy buckets and stops.
Blewett had 18 in the first half against Arizona on Friday. He's had a great run in this tournament. Here's Gooden, and it's blocked. Look at Jonathan Williams. best player on the floor tonight.
The best player on the floor, and it started with energy, B.A. That's what he did. You do the hustle things. To you kids out there, anytime you get in a big game, what you want to start off doing is hustling, offensive rebounds, getting to the paint, maybe get a steal. Why? It opens the basket up, and then you can relax and let the game come to you.
2 of the 4 Gonzaga blocks belong to Jonathan Williams. Shot clock at 5, and here's Blewett, and Blewett off 1 foot, comes up short. Williams will run the break, pushes it ahead. Perkins, and now Perkins gives it up. Williams-Goss hangs, leaves it, and a foul. Well, that secondary break just looked in total control once Williams-Goss got the ball in his hands.
Yeah, you're so right about the secondary break. If you run it with pace, guys can score and relax and probe the defense, see if there's any gaps, any weaknesses. If not, pull it back out and set up.
Jonathan Williams struggles at the line, but he gives you everything else, and he knocks the first one down. Hey, from the network that brought you Angie Tribeca Season 1 and 2, TBS presents a special presentation of Angie Tribeca Season 3. It's tonight after the games. The winner of this one will advance to the crown jewel, the Final Four. There's a foul. I believe that's on Collins. And that will be his 4th. And Karnowski is coming back in. So the freshman in the regional rounds having a tough time. Frustration for Zach Collins. Collins has 4. Karnowski with 3. We'll see if Xavier continues on the attack. By the way, the winner here tonight will match up against the East Regional winner, South Carolina or Florida. That SEC matchup tomorrow on CBS. Williams-Goss got a hand on it. 13 on the shot clock. And Makura is trying to fight off what has been a very physical game. Here's Gaston. Perkins clears it away. Lots been made of Gonzaga's offense, rightly so. Mark Few, as Williams catches it deep, now stuck under the basket. And he puts one off the rim. No foul, and that's Gaston with a rebound.
You have to push the ball if you're Xavier. You have to make the most of your possessions. You have an advantage, 4 on 5.
Gates can't get it to go, and Williams, who was slow to get up, he ran out of his shoe actually, ends up getting the rebound as he's trying to put that sizable sneaker back on.
Perkins gives his boy a hand and saying, hey, you've been doing it all tonight. Put your shoe back on. We need you, baby.
And a foul on Gooden, trying to poke it away from behind. Gonzaga trying to advance, up 15, under 12 minutes remaining in the Elite Eight. Such a pleasure to watch these student athletes and then their connections to their friends and their family, and that is the 86-year-old grandfather of J.P. Makura, Jan. J.P. said he will not use that cane in his presence. He'll hold it, but he won't use it. He is a tough guy. He has been in J.P.'s life and in his basketball career and has traveled here. A veteran who is excited to watch his grandson play in the Elite Eight. Beautiful story. Here's Perkins. He passes up a 3. Perkins gives it to Williams-Goss. Goes right by Makura. And a high arcing jump shot. Not there. Gates kept it alive for Blewett.
As an athlete, it's so fun to have your parents, your grandparents at the game. The pressure is on the kids, not on the referees, not on anyone in the stands. And when you see Bernard right there with the foul, this is such a family affair. The prayers, the people that have been driving you to practice all these years, the people that have been feeding you, that have been there with you. It's 12 guys, 15 guys on the team. It's very small, and each guy family member is so important. It's so great to see Makura sharing that moment with his grandfather. For those of us that are long past our college days, it makes us just be nostalgic, remembering what great moments you have, great memories you built during this time.
Let's check in with Lewis.
He also told us that his grandfather calls him every day. And recently he had gotten a new phone and was away from that phone for maybe a few days, and he had about 20 messages from him. So every day he hears from his grandfather.
All right, Lewis, thanks. As the three-pointers continue to fall for Gonzaga. They are now 11 for 20 from behind the arc, and Williams-Goss is putting up a big game. C-Webb, 19 now, 4 made three-pointers, has 6 rebounds and 4 assists.
That's why he's the West Coast Conference Player of the Year.
And a Cousy Award finalist, best point guard in the country. Makura able to save it, throws it off the foot of Nelson. No, it's going to be out on Makura, and that'll be Gonzaga ball.
Makura in there fighting and throws it off of himself.
Yeah, went off his
hand, was standing on the line. But he's in there fighting, and that's what you want your guards to do, to come down and rebound by committee, to help.
And they're going to get Chris Mack, who is barking the entire way. They have teed up the Xavier head coach.
It's about that time. You're 18 points down halfway through the second half. Coaches fight for their teams as well. I'm sure he has a legitimate gripe, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes you do it more to take pressure off your team and have them look and see you be the bad guy. And maybe it'll take a little pressure off them to relax the last 11 minutes of this game. But regardless, they're going to have to do it on the defensive end first and then knock down some buckets.
Nigel Williams-Goss will shoot the technical foul shots, misses the first. By the way, Nigel Williams-Goss wanted us to say hello to his grandmother, who is watching. She is dealing with cancer, stage 4 cancer, and she is one of his greatest support systems. And we had a long talk about her the other day on Thursday, and Nigel Williams-Goss looks up to her a great deal. Barbara Hingston, very involved in his career, and she's going through a tough time right now. She's living in Portland, and her grandson is putting on a show when the lights are the brightest.
And our prayers are with you, Grandma. I know you are proud of your grandson.
19-point lead, Karnowski, and a foul. Malcolm Bernard fouls Karnowski, and that Xavier bench is hot.
Yeah, Karnowski, I don't know if he threw elbows, but his elbows were out. And as he does his spin move, there's a little bit of incidental contact. Oh, big boy move right there. You got to be prepared if you're in that paint.
And they are going to take a look at this just to see if there was an elbow around the jaw. Chris Mack asked Michael Stevens if he would take a look, and there was contact.
Well, this is definitely not a flagrant. In basketball.
Mark Few requested. Okay, and we just got an explanation. Yeah. Potential dead ball technical.
And I think the referees have to look at it, definitely. Go double check it. But this is big boy basketball. These are the best college players in the world. You got to let them ball inside. That's a 7-footer. You got to be ready for it.
Maybe that last swipe. Anyway, they've had no technical.
Of course not.
Okay.
Great job by the referees. Let the big fellas play. You have to be cautious, but nobody's playing malicious. There's no dirty ball in there. Basketball is a contact sport, no matter what you heard, especially down in that painted area for grown men only.
Chenick Karnowski, the lefty, with a very smooth stroke, misses the free throw. I think they're going to reset maybe the shot clock.
They said it was a 1-and-1, and if it was a 1-and-1, then I'm sure it would be Xavier's ball because he missed the free throw.
That's it. Good call. All right. 1 out of 2 then for Karnowski, one of the winningest players college basketball history now in his 5th year. And they keep cranking along. He is the winningest player in college basketball history, as a matter of fact. And a 35-1 record Gonzaga's put on the line. Looking for win number 36. Wide open inside, Tyreek Jones on the feed from Makura.
Heck of a play call. Throw it to the corner, use Makura as a decoy. He fakes the shot or just looks up that way, hits the baseline for the open dunk.
First shot for Jones ends up as a two-handed jam.
That foul trouble in the beginning sometimes can throw your rhythm off. Jones going to have to find a way to make his impact known right now in a small burst of time.
Perkins misses the 3. Jones with the board. Now Makura going to work. Gets inside. And Makura with some nifty moves inside. Grandpa Young going to love that. So that's how I taught him.
He's tough, just like his grandfather. You see that hat he has on? Air Force veteran. You know he's a bad man as well. But his grandson right now doing it first on the pass, great play call. And then secondly, he's going to rock you to sleep, smooth in the post, up and under. I know Kevin McHale somewhere smiling. That's his move.
So look at our game summary. The three-point shooting is the story for Gonzaga. They've made 11. They are one make away from matching a program record in the NCAA tournament. And they are 2 away from breaking that record and matching their season high. They had one of those 13 three-pointer games against Iowa State this year. Gonzaga has the lead and the ball. Second half, 9 minutes, 47 seconds remaining. Trip to the Final Four in Phoenix. As the reward is Karnowski, and no shot on the floor. And Karnowski will go back to the line.
Okay, basketball nerds, here you go. This play used to be called 252 twist. They used to run this all the time in Minnesota for KG. You set a screen, the guy come down, then you set the ball screen, and then you go to the opposite block. So hard for the defense to communicate when Karnowski sets 3 picks and then comes baseline on the other side for the post up.
That's a 1-and-1, and Karnowski gets a rebound, calls a timeout. The big man who grew up playing soccer in Poland hits the deck, multitasking all the way, calls the timeout, and saves the possession.
I told you he could dance, and now he's working on his goalie. You know, he's working on his goalie game, getting down deep, except they don't call timeouts. Great play by the big fella.
Gonzaga fans having some fun. They're dancing at the big dance. Got the sprinkler going. 9:41 left. They are in control. Does Xavier have an answer? Do they have a flurry offensively? They have not gotten much from Trayvon Blewett, who is just 3 for 13, and he has missed 8 of his last 9 shots. It figures to be one way back for Xavier. Gonzaga gets a second chance, and easy to the rim. Silas Melson.
The scouting report right there may have hurt Xavier because Gonzaga used it against them. The drive, they thought that they were going to throw the alley-oop. Xavier's throwing. Gonzaga throws so many. The guard decided to keep it that time. Go to the hole for the layup.
Here's Jones. Blewett passes by. Now it's Gooden with Williams-Goss on him. Just mind how tight to the ball these Gonzaga defenders are. Blewett, and it's slapped away by Karnowski. Up ahead in transition. Matthews will pull it back. And it's poked away. Wow, good defense there. That was very disruptive fast break for Gonzaga. They get nothing out of it. And a big break for Xavier. 7 turnover for the Zags. Jones on Karnowski. And he runs into that wall, and it's foul number 4 on Shimmick.
Disagree with that call. That's a tough call, but if you're Jones, that's exactly what you want to do. But Blewett, look at the hands right there. Anytime he goes up, there's 2-3 guys in his way, and disagree with that call right there. But hey, that's what happens sometimes in hoop. You have to go to the bench, compose yourself, stay mentally into the game, focused, and be ready to come back in.
A touch foul on Karnowski feels like a small car accident. See all the jarring that Jones when he runs into that body of Karnowski. So he'll sit for now. In the game is Killian Tilly, the freshman from France. And looking inside, O'Mara had it blocked. Williams got a hand on that. Man, he is doing it all here tonight. Jonathan Williams, the junior, the transfer from Mizzou. Had visions of this kind of run. He sat all last year. He and Williams-Goss waiting on their moment. And it is happening quickly.
Double dribble.
Double dribble indeed. Turn it over.
Xavier has to try to speed up the pace. One thing I like, for those of you out there, Blewett can score. He gets buckets in a hurry. Right now, 3 for 13. This is when you finish a game 3 for 20 or 7 for 25, but you have to be aggressive. You cannot let the stat sheet discourage you from being aggressive.
And a bad pass, too hot to handle for Makura. Blewett turns it over. That is another empty possession for Xavier. Under 8 minutes to go. 18-point lead. Gonzaga trying to add to it. Inside to Williams. Pounded by Makura. And now Williams-Goss goes by Makura all the way in, loses it, and a foul. Nigel Williams-Goss stays aggressive. Makura picks up the foul. Free throws when we continue. And now You Got Game, presented by Axe, as we take a look at the athletic Jonathan Williams for the Zags.
The Zags are one of 9 teams, one of 9 schools in D1 that has 5 or more players averaging 10-plus points. Williams is on the bottom of that totem pole, but tonight, second in scoring. And just look at that efficiency, 8 for 11, but more impressively, I mean, he's just been all over the court since the beginning of the game. On the offensive boards is where I'm most impressed. 4 offensive, a couple of blocks. He's playing well.
He led Mizzou in points per game as a sophomore, led him in blocks and rebounds. Sat last year on the transfer, and here he is in a starring role along with his point guard Nigel Williams-Goss, who now has 22 points inside Makura. And that is Tilly who wrangles it down. 20-point lead for Gonzaga. In complete control, the three-point shooting put them in this spot. They've made 11 so far tonight, 11 of 21 from behind the arc.
I'm sure Gonzaga fans are used to this. I mean, Gonzaga has had the highest scoring margin all season of any D1 team at 22.8. The next closest is 4 points less, and that's Wichita State.
And Williams-Goss comes up short. There's Gates with the rebound. Xavier knows they got to go and go now if they're going to fight their way back into this game. They're down 20. And Makura can't hit the three. And back comes Gonzaga. Mark Few says run some offense now. Frustrating Elite 8 game for Chris Mack and the Musketeers. Turned it over. Travel. Nelson gives the ball right back to Xavier. And Mark Few making a couple of moves here with Collins back on the floor, as is Perkins. So the most wins by 20 or more points, Gonzaga with 22 this year. They just destroyed their opponents in the West Coast Conference. And Mark Few, a finalist for the National Coach of the Year. That was always the big question. You have to play who you play in your conference. But you're always wondering about Gonzaga when they get into the tournament. And they have let some leads get away, but boy, have they been good. They were impressive against a very difficult defense in West Virginia. They have rolled here tonight. Williams-Goss all the way in, blocked from behind, but Collins is there to put it back. And Chris Mack is running out of answers. The 11 seed, Xavier, surviving to the Elite 8. And Gonzaga looking every bit the 1 seed right now. It's a 12-4 run and a 22-point lead.
Collins staying vertical, allowing his size to be the defender. Great job by the bigs of Zaga tonight. Not being over-aggressive inside, playing defense by position.
Williams-Goss, and that's an offensive foul. I think they're going to get Collins, who is racking up the fouls quickly. He's out. That's his 5th foul. Well, how good is Chris Mack's Xavier team this year to make this run? You see just the 3 11 seeds to make it into the Final Four, last being VCU, and all losing in the national semifinal. Xavier was trying to become just the 5th double-digit seed to make it to the Final Four. Here's O'Mara, and he knocks down the little mid-range jumper.
Zaga is willing to give that up. Their zone is just trying to make Xavier move the ball side to side and take a little bit off of there. But how about this? Gonzaga 32 points in the paint. Xavier 30 points in the paint. 3-point line, 11 for 22. Man, that's been a difference maker. 33 points alone, and Williams-Goss is fouled on the way to the basket. Well, you're seeing why Williams-Goss is one of the elite point guards in the country. Lonzo Ball last night. It was said he is coming out for the NBA, and Williams-Goss here tonight. Cousy Award finalist. And a transfer from Washington.
say you can follow all your favorite NCAA events throughout the year with the official NCAA Sports app. Scores, brackets, live updates, live streaming of NCAA championships all year long with NCAA Sports. 1 out of 2 for Williams-Goss. Now Gooden for 3. And they just will not fall for Xavier. Matthews on the breakaway. And Matthews, oh, what a block. And another block. And O'Mara keeps it alive. Oh, Makura bounced it out of bounds.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about. Who cares about the score? You always play to win right now. Xavier behind, and this is when, if you give up, you'll let somebody lay it up. You'll let somebody dunk. You have 2 blocks. O'Mara following up. Both plays just show the heart, the perseverance, the resilience of this team trying to fight and get back in by any means necessary.
Well, they have been a very tough team all year, and mimicking their head coach, a former Xavier player himself, playing for Pete Gillen. Now in his 8th year, they've been a joy to watch. But they're running into a buzzsaw here tonight at Gonzaga. 4:40 left in regulation. Nigel Williams-Goss has 23 points, 4 assists. Ball in his hands, gives it up to Perkins. And now Tilly. There's Gooden with the rebound. And in transition, kick it to Makura. On the attack, hangs and scores. J.P. Makura, so skilled at the rim.
That was an and one. Should have had a call there, but Makura not scared of the contact. You have to love this kid's just swag. He has that league swag, like he can get a bucket at any time. And he's telling his teammates, go get up in his jersey. We're down. He's definitely the leader of this team as far as keeping his guys engaged.
Williams, going to start tonight, and he's fouled by O'Mara. That'll take us to a timeout. Under 4, 3:53 to go. The Elite 8 and the top seed in the West dominating.
Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by Audi, Ritz Crisp and Thins, Subway Restaurants, and by USAA.
All the pageantry of the NCAA tournament. Great bands, both Xavier and the Gonzaga band, entertaining us during those timeouts. And by the way, folks, meet Jamie Coffey, the first female public address announcer at the NCAA tournament in the West Regional ever. She's been doing a great job entertaining us all during the timeouts and crisp at those announcements. Congratulations to Jamie. She's a trailblazer. Spent some time in the NBA with the Kings, so you have something in common.
Oh, I mean,
and Jamie.
Come on, she's the best of the best.
Jonathan Williams, this is the first free throw. 3:53 left in this one, and Gonzaga has been impressive. They've got 19 from Williams, 8 rebounds as well. 23 points from their point guard, Nigel Williams-Goss. He's had 6 boards, 4 assists, and now a takeaway. They were trying to clean up the floor. It's an easy bucket.
That young lady's going to be on the internet all night. She's smiling. You were just doing your job. Don't worry. Way to get out. Did you see the quickness by her with the broom to sweep her way out of there while the fast break was coming?
I mean, there's skill to that. There's mechanics to get the broom off the ground. You can't just go dilly-dally and let the broom hang a little bit.
You know?
It's a foul inside. Now this is a fast break. So fast, almost had company on the other end.
Now, if you're at home, just imagine if you got this guy coming at you, what are you going to do? Most of us might just fall and trip. And he's looking like, wait, you playing defense? Or does Xavier have you on their team?
Josh Perkins had to give her a little time. You're good.
Great job. Great
Working
job.
hard. It's going to be known for something. I'm impressed she got out of the way.
Oh, I like that speed. I might have to ask Lewis Johnson about her first couple of steps. She got out the gate real quick.
That's court awareness right there, right? Now, what a ride here for Gonzaga. A lot of expectations. Obviously, a 1 seed deals with those expectations as well as Perkins. This is the 3. Williams kept it alive momentarily. I love the comments of Mark Few. And there's been some questions about him and feeling the pressure. as a top seed and trying to get the monkey off his back to get to the Final Four? He had a beautiful answer to that question, and there's nobody more in sync with his community, with his program, than Mark Few. Third fastest to 500 wins in Division I basketball history, and he has a great thing going, and he could have left on a number of occasions, I'm sure, but he has built a powerhouse at Gonzaga.
That's why I love sports. The tenets of sports are what really can translate in life for many people. What do I mean by that? In life, you're going to have everybody doubt you. They're going to say you can't do it. They're going to put labels on you as if they know you. No one in the media knows this man and says, how's that monkey? He says, my wife, I don't know any monkey or a cat. I don't have any monkey on my back. You do not let other people define you. Gonzaga is proving that tonight.
And then the other side of the story with Xavier, and knowing this incredible run is coming to an end here. And Chris Mack is in the same cut as a Mark Few. And here's a guy that his name pops up just about every year for all what would be considered major jobs in power conferences. But remember, the Big East has remade itself. 7 teams in the NCAA tournament this year. Xavier, the last Big East standing, but this guy can flat out coach, and he's very comfortable where he is.
And let's be honest, these two coaches don't have the recruits that are the one-and-dones. We just talked about Karnowski that's been there 5 years. That's the all-time winningest kid in college history. So there's a difference in building the program and having the one-and-dones come and help you coach and win some games for you. A dynamic job by these coaches.
Out of bounds, that's going to stay in the possession of Xavier. Mark Few, 18th year at Gonzaga, former assistant. He said in the early days they were told not to recruit any players that were being considered by Pac-12 teams. How times have changed, right? Now, not only are they recruiting players that are being recruited by Pac-12, they're recruiting McDonald's All-Americans, and they're getting high-level transfers. And this program is going to be a force to be reckoned with for a long, long time, and they have been for a long, long time.
Let's think about what Coach Collins told his son that did such a great job at Northwestern this year. He told him, when you are building a program, son, the wins and the losses are the last thing you worry about. They will come. For both of these coaches, they must know Coach Collins because they've taken his advice. They have great kids, great programs, and the wins have come.
Karnowski going strong, and a fight for it underneath, and Blewett comes away as we approach the 1-minute mark. And Bernard, they're just not falling. Been that kind of night. And a victory lap here for Gonzaga as the kennel that includes John Stockton comes to their feet.
I do like this move, BA. Gonzaga wants to get guys in the bench on the game. Everyone at home, I know we only highlight the stars sometimes or the programs, but the unsung heroes are these guys that are coming into the game now as Karnowski and those guys are getting hugs. But the guys that practice against you every day, the guys that hold you accountable, that checks the William Gosses, that listens to coach and yells and keeps coming from class and keeps working hard. Fun to see them get a little bit of time on the court, but they're going to get yelled at too. They better come in and play hard, just like the stars.
Brian Alberts, Rui Hachimura, Ryan Edwards, Dustin Triano, all getting time on the floor. And that one goes. How about that? Hachimura with an exclamation point. The 12th made three-pointer. The kid from Japan. And I think Chris Mack now wants to do the same.
Have to honor your team. It is a team game. The bench is just as important as the starters, though they might be more important during the week. But look right there. That says it all. Welcome, West Coast Conference. They said you weren't a big major. Well, people are going to have to eat their words, I think.
And you have a Final Four team. First West Coast Conference Final Four teams since the late 50s. Colin Barr, Leighton Schran, Alex Bergen, Tim Stainbrook all on the floor. And we'll wind it down. What a story this is. The 56-57 San Francisco Dons, the last West Coast Conference team to make it to the Final Four. Mike Farmer, star on that team, Art Day. And the WCC is going to send another one. For the first time in program history, Gonzaga is headed to the Final Four. And it is all pouring out of Trayvon Blewett, one of the stars of this tournament.
You're
but
right
just
about
run into a really hot team tonight in Gonzaga.
You're right about pouring it out, and I've definitely been there before, twice, matter of fact, and I can tell you personally, there's no shame in tears when you have given it your all. That man Stockton fought so long, 19, 20 years in the league, giving it his all. Blewett, he's crying because of the effort he's given, because of the students that he's playing for, the alumni that he's playing for. McCure, they have nothing to be ashamed of, and those are not tears of shame. Those are tears of exhaustion, of giving everything you had, tears of getting to the mountaintop and not seeing your dream all the way through. But I tell you what, these guys have played so hard, they should be proud of themselves.
Now, Rasheed Gaston and Malcolm Bernard, the two seniors for Xavier. So Gonzaga will advance. They'll match up against the winner of the East Regional Final tomorrow. That all-SEC matchup, Florida and South Carolina. Don't forget Kansas and Oregon still coming up on TBS from Kansas City. Let's send it to Lewis Johnson with the winning coach, Mark Few, headed to the Final Four.
All right, Coach, what does it mean for you guys to live up to this #1 seed and get yourself to the Final Four for the first time ever in program history?
Hey, man, you know what? It means everything that we could deliver for guys like this. He believed in us. All these guys believed in us when they came. This is what we wanted to do. We set out to do it. And these guys have been unbelievable. I could not be happier for a group of guys, for all our ex-players, and our whole Zag Nation.
All right, Jonathan, you scored 12 points in the first half, but how did you continue the incredible performance throughout the game to help lift your team here?
I just want to thank God first of all, but I just stayed aggressive, you know, and my teammates found me, and I took what the defense gave me, so that's all, man.
And Nigel, can you describe the emotion, the chance to put that hat on, and now your team is headed to the Final Four?
It's just been such a crazy journey, from transferring and sitting out, just all the hard work, the patience that it took to get here. And these are just my brothers. I couldn't be more happy for Coach. He deserves it. These guys deserve it. We work hard every day. It's unreal. I'm just thankful.
Guys, congratulations. Great trip to Phoenix. Enjoy.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, BA, back to you.
And that label, Lewis, can be taken off Mark Few. He had been the winningest NCAA tournament coach without making the Final Four, and that is history. Mark Few and the Bulldogs of Gonzaga University are headed to Phoenix and the Final Four with a dominating performance. The 1 seed is marching on. Once again, our final 83-59. Xavier eliminated. For Chris Webber, Lewis Johnson, and the rest of our terrific crew led by Scott Cockrell and Matt Lipp, I'm Brian Anderson saying so long from San Jose. Gonzaga is the West Regional Champion. Coming up next on TBS, it's the Midwest Regional Final, the 3 seed Oregon and the top seed Kansas. We'll send you to our studio for Capital One Tournament Central after these messages.
This is Capital One Tournament Central.
Mamo, tato, bardzo się cieszę, że oglądaliście. Walczymy dalej, jedziemy do Phoenix. I just said, Mom and Dad, I'm really happy you guys watch it. We're going to Phoenix and we're going to fight over there. I love you, Poland.
Or another Polish translation would be, stay the heck away from me with those razor blades. We have our first team into the Final Four, and that's the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Final score in San Jose, Gonzaga 83, Xavier 59. Welcome to Capital One Tournament Central. Greg Gumbel along with Clark, Kenny, and Charles. There'll be a lot of time for plaudits for Xavier, but this Gonzaga team is too good to ignore. 36 wins and 37 starts this season for their first ever Final Four trip.
And you know, there are a lot of people in the world of college basketball that are celebrating with this program because they've seen them knock on the door and not quite get there. Not only jubilation for the players, coaching staff, and everybody associated with Gonzaga, but I think there's a rounds of applause going up quite a bit throughout the world of college basketball, because this is the kind of story that we've come to enjoy during this time of year.
Again, I kept saying, if you look at Jonathan Williams and what he was able to do, his inside-outside presence, because he has the ability to go and shoot that from the outside, it allowed him to get inside. But, I just thought overall this Gonzaga team was a team all year, I kept saying, underrated. Underrated. Yes, how can a team 36-1 be underrated? Because when they lost the game, they dropped so far in the polls. People didn't believe what they were. I know there are people in their conference, coaches in their conference didn't believe. I kept looking at them and go, like I did South Carolina, I believe. I was like, this team will make the Final Four. This was one of my picks. But I just thought that they have everything that you need. What don't they have? And if you can answer that question, then you can beat them. But one person could figure out what they didn't have that night.
Well, it's interesting because this is really the best game they played. They were free today. They had a great matchup because they were just really shooting practice shots, jumpers. Xavier could never really, that zone wasn't effective at all. The guys played with tremendous confidence. But I agree with you, Clark. I'm really happy for Coach Few because he finally gets that monkey off his back, getting to the Final Four. And this program's been terrific for a long, extended period of time. Sure. And they just could not get over the hump. But in fairness, this team is the best they had as far as the guard play. They've had some big guys, they had some perimeter guys. But I think at the guards are much better. And I'm just happy for them.
But the one thing I was saying before this game, Xavier reminds me of the teams that they have to face during the regular year. We talk about sometimes that they might have a lighted schedule. It's not really a lighted schedule. It's just the BYUs and St. Mary's of the world don't have the size. They don't have the overall talent and size around in those perimeters, and that's what Xavier didn't have. So this was like, and they play zone. So teams that play against them in their conference, they play zone a lot. So they got to play against something that they was much more comfortable seeing than anyone else.
83-59 is the final, and Gonzaga gets the first ticket to Phoenix, Arizona. To come on Capital One Tournament Central, Bulldogs are celebrating their win. They'll be celebrating long into the night back in Spokane. Gonzaga moves on to its first ever Final Four.
I want to hear Zag Nation roar one last time in this building, huh?
Don't you get the feeling Zag Nation will be roaring long into the night? Out in San Jose, California, the Gonzaga Bulldogs cutting down the nets. They're on their way to Phoenix. Capital One Tournament Central continues after this.
This is Capital One Tournament Central.
Gonzaga Bulldogs in full-time celebration mode. Mark Few at the top of the ladder with the Nets. 12 times to the Elite Eight. This 12th time was the charm as they break through to the Final Four. Welcome back to Capital One Tournament Central. Gonzaga there. Another team will join them after Oregon and Kansas decide a winner in the Midwest Regional Final. Time now for March Madness Q&A. Presented by Amazon Echo. Just ask. And it's the tweet of the day from Rex Chapman, who says, Shemek Karnowski is Mark Eaton. Big, long, big fella's a mammoth of a man. That he is. Well, Xavier lost out on its bid for the Final Four. Our Lewis Johnson caught up with the head coach of the Musketeers, Chris Mack.
Well, Chris, in a time like this, I can only imagine a million things are going through your mind. But what are your thoughts on the season, the game, and the way your team fought here?
Yeah, I'm proud of our team. You know, it's tough when you get to this point. You don't play your best. I thought Gonzaga played a marvelous game. They've really done it all year long. You know, we sort of caught lightning in a bottle. Our kids never quit. They continued to believe. You know, we're playing our best basketball of the year. But, you know, on a 1.5 day turnaround, it's tough to face one of the best teams in the country, a team that's really big, very skilled, passes the ball well. I mean, they got a chance to win it all, as you saw today. And but our guys have nothing to hang their heads about. I love them. I told them that in the locker room. And, you know, hopefully this experience makes us a little bit stronger the next time around.
All right, great. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Congrats to Chris Mack and the Musketeers on a terrific season. We're counting down to the tip of Midwest Regional Final between Oregon and Kansas, and we'll be back right after this.
Let's go!